I am Pragya, and I bring to you excerpts from the year-ender issue titled We Bear Witness. The issue is dedicated to the people of Gaza and what they went through. The sky seems to be weeping. Haya Abu Nasser, compiled by Swati Subedar from Outlook. Haya Abu Nasser, a human rights activist and writer from Gaza, was slated to depart for Malaysia on October 17 to study international relations. These days, she's yearning for a cup of coffee and the routine melody of life. November 26, 2023. In the embrace of a recent rainy day, I sought solace in the melodic strains of Frank Sinatra's tune, its nostalgic notes intertwining with the rhythmic cadence of raindrops outside. A quaint seaside restaurant had transformed into my sanctuary. Through mist-streaked windows, I surveyed the vast sea. Conversation flowed around me like steady steam, warmed by the comfort found in communal tales. I was also feeling the thrill of anticipation. I was slated to depart for Malaysia on October 17th to pursue my studies in international relations while continuing my role as a fundraising officer for an NGO. For years, I have dedicated myself to advocating for the rights of Palestinians, and advancing my learning would increase my impact. Upon leaving the refuge of the cafe, I made my way to the library, unaware of the twist of fate awaiting me. My small sanctuary was about to fall victim to the ruthlessness of war. When we first heard the news of the daring infiltration of Israel by our resistant fighters, we felt a flash of wild anticipation. Maybe, we thought, the world will finally pay attention to us and recognize our unwavering determination to stand up against oppression and injustice. No longer would we have to live with a pervasive sense of impotence. However, within less than 24 hours, our euphoria gave way to stark realization. We were being cast as the evil ones. The voices and the spin of power, driven by economic interests and political expediency, resonated far more than our plea for justice. The fragility of our existence became glaringly evident as I narrowly escaped death 2 times. The first occurred when my family was ordered to leave our home by the Israeli military. Seeking safety, my family and I hastily relocated from our residence in the northern Gaza City neighborhood of Saftawi to my uncle's home further south. The second time came when just 2 days later, the Israelis heavily bombarded the building adjacent to my uncle's house in the Al Nusayrat camp. The aftermath was a grim scene of lifeless bodies, severed limbs and blood strewn across the streets. 30 of his neighbors died. Forced to move a second time, my entire family sought refuge at our grandparents' home in Khan Yunis. Then came the third blow a week later. The Israeli military destroyed the nearby square, claiming the lives of more than 50. Now we had nowhere else to go. We relocated to the UN Training Center in Khan Yunis, which is sheltering more than 30,000 people. The only shelter there, in flimsy tents, the embodiment of our fragile hopes, now dashed. Like scattered dreams, they crumbled under the relentless assault of rain. Children cried and mothers pleaded, but the heavens seemed indifferent. In the chaos, the UN RWA warehouse became a battleground, where desperation clashed with bureaucracy in the scramble for basic comforts like a tent and blankets. We lack proper clothing to ward off the cold, an unforgiving adversary. Our displacement, which we initially thought would be brief, has stretched beyond 43 days. Bags initially packed for a temporary escape must now sustain us in what has become a nomadic existence. The sky, which once released a cleansing rain, seemed to weep alongside me when I received news of the massacre in Jabalia camp, which stole the lives of more than 20 of my extended family members. Bitterness gnaws at my soul as I long for the simplicity of safe shelter, warmth, a cup of coffee, and what I once thought of as a routine melody of life. Once vibrant markets now stand desolate and children suffer from malnutrition. However, we cling to hope fragile as a gossamer thread. We whisper a prayer to return home, hoping our houses are not entirely destroyed. The frustration is palpable as the spectre of 48 haunts us. Now we are told there is a 4-day pause. The kids are happy because they have been cooped up for weeks. But the adults? We are afraid that truce will give Israel time to assemble more soldiers and bring in more equipment so they can resume with renewed vigor. Haya Abu Nasser lives in Der Sned near Gaza. The story written by her was published on the website We Are Not Numbers. For this and more, read the year-ender issue of Outlook.